One of the most famous hikes, as a matter of fact, it's advertised as the finest hike in the world, is called the Milford Track. It's located in the South Pacific in New Zealand. New Zealand consists of two main islands, the North Island and the South Island. The location of this hike is on the southwest coast of the South Island. The hike starts on a big lake, traverses the mountains, and ends up in a fjord along the coast. Now, you can't drive to the start of the trail. Most hikers take a boat from the parking area across the lake to the trail's starting point. The trail is about 34 miles long and reaches an elevation of 3,000 feet. It's considered medium difficulty. At the end of the trail is a fjord, the Milford Sound, which has near vertical cliffs, a spectacular sight. There is a valley at the farthest point in the fjord, and that's where the trail ends. A boat carries the hikers through the fjord and back to civilization on the ocean's coastline. The night before our adventure began, there was a briefing in the town of Teanau. The Milford Track is known for its rain, so the emphasis of the briefing is on what clothes to bring to protect yourself from the rain.
The idea is to take one along. If perhaps you find that your raincoat is fine, then you can drop it at one of the lodges, okay? But up until then, it is important that you do have a raincoat with you that is going to do the job, okay? So, raincoat.
And you may get blisters on your feet from walking. They recommend using raw wool in your shoes as a lubricant. It's effective when your shoes, your socks, and your feet are wet. I can recommend it, as it sure helped me after I started getting a blister. Then there's the mandatory group photo. Everyone was happy and looking forward to the adventure ahead. The first morning, we left our hotels and campgrounds, parked our cars at the lot at the Teanau Downs. We walked to the dock with our gear and left for a cruise the length of the Teanau Lake. There's only one boat trip a day from Teanau to the starting point of the Milford Track. There's a limit of 100 hikers on each boatload. That's because the Milford Track is highly regulated. There are two groups allowed to start each day. 40 are considered independent hikers and carry everything they'll need with them. Then there's a group of 60 hikers who are in a guided walk, and they are provided with food and everything they'll need along the way. Another feature of the hike are the biting insects called sandflies. A strong repellent usually does the job. There are two sets of shelters along the track. One set of shelters is for the independent hikers, and the other set is for the guided walk hikers. This is Glade House, the first shelter for the guided group hikers. It has a dining room, bedrooms, bathroom, a common area, that sort of thing. Now, I had decided to take this hike at the last minute, and of course, reservations fill up months in advance. So all I was able to arrange was to get to stay overnight at Glade House, walk with the group for a while, but turn around in time to get back to the boat in time for its afternoon departure. On arrival, the independent hikers had to walk 2 miles to their first shelter for the night. There's no camping allowed anywhere on the trail, so the Park Service provides the independent hikers with a basic shelter located at the end of each day's hike. Before dinner, our first day, our guide gave us a nature walk. He showed us some plants that grow in the New Zealand rainforests. This looks to me like a fungus. It's growing out of a tree. He showed us a mountain birch tree. It has special leaves. Some of us did a little extra exploring before dinner. One feature of the guided group is that they are fed at each lodge each night. They don't have to bring food. They don't have to cook it. In fact, they are served at a table, first class in the wilderness. In our group, there were hikers from all over the world. After dinner, there was an organized get-together to help people get to know each other a little better. Countries represented by a group of hikers sang a song. This is the Japanese group. The two largest groups were from Japan and the USA. A team from each of these two countries squared off for a ping pong ball blowing contest. Then the head guide used slides to introduce us to some of the birds we'd see on the trail.
Now, we should see quite a bit of bird life tomorrow. Most of the birds are very friendly and very inquisitive, and they'll come right up to you shortly. But this one is the New Zealand native wood pigeon. Quite distinctive, large white breasts on them, and very colourful wings. Bush robin, these ones are very friendly, especially the young chicks. They feed on the sandflies and everything, which is going to be flying around us if we stop for long enough. And if you can put up with the sandflies, you'll definitely get some of these birds coming up around you to see if they can grab some of those sandflies. And also, this is the first place that we'll run into the keas. The keas are an alpine parrot. They're the largest alpine parrot in the world, and real characters. There's usually one there at Hariri Falls every day to greet us and to try and annoy us and steal your food and hats and gloves and whatever else they can get hold of. Okay, this one is a weka. Not a kiwi. No, the kiwi has got much longer beak or bill on it, and is quite a bit bigger also. Again, very friendly birds, not afraid to come right up to us. Also very intelligent. You can see this one here feeding a starving walker a peanut. Okay. Okay.
The next morning we started our hike. Now, the Milford Track hike is special, and it's unique to New Zealand. It's a one-way, 4-day hike with spectacular views and with a lodge to stay in each night. Sometimes the weather conditions can be downright awful, and you may wish you could stay an extra night at the lodge, but you can't. You have to leave the lodge on schedule to make room for the hikers coming in the next group. The trail is well maintained, and each turn brings a new surprise. This is that curious bush robin. It moved in on me so fast, all I could do was get a shot looking down on it. The independent hikers stay overnight in rustic, do-it-yourself shelters. There are stoves, sinks, picnic tables, and dormitory-style sleeping with bunk beds. The independent hikers bring everything else they'll need with them and have to clean the place up when they leave.
About 5 inches thick.
Here are some of those pesky sandflies, and they do bite. The mountains here are mostly granite, so when it rains, the water doesn't soak in, but runs off as waterfalls. And it rains a lot. Here's the lunch stop for the guided group the first day out. It's nice to get under a roof. Now, the average rainfall here is 15 feet a year. That's about the height of the ceiling in the second floor of a house. The hot soup, the hot coffee, the hot chocolate were certainly welcome. Now, you may remember that I had to turn around, leave the group, and walk back to the boat, while the group continued on up the trail in the rain.
Bye.
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 Enjoy your walk back.
Yep, thanks.
If you'd like to view other adventures I had in New Zealand, enter in the YouTube search box Franklin Clay Films Zealand.